on Real Estate Millennial Radio. We have our guest today, Mr. Adrian Daly with Icon Fitness. How are you doing today, Adrian?
I'm doing fantastic in yourself.
Doing well. And we have here Amelia as well as Selena, our producer, sitting in with us today. How are you guys doing this beautiful Saturday?
Good morning, everyone. It's Amelia, real estate mogul. On this beautiful day, I'm doing amazing, amazing. Ready to get into it.
Good morning, Selena Sappleton, and I'm doing well as well.
All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so a quote we're leading with today, being that we have a personal trainer here, is "You'll never feel truly satisfied by the work until you're satisfied with life" by Zig Ziglar. So, Adrian, what is a healthy work-life balance?
I think a healthy work-life balance is going to look different for everybody. It all depends upon what your priorities are, what it is that you're seeking to accomplish. But most importantly, you have to figure out what your goals are going to be. And then once you're able to figure out your goals, then you can kind of figure out what your balance is going to look like that from there.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that you pointed out structure. Figure out what you want out of life, prioritize it, and then you work towards it.
I agree. I think structure is extremely important. For someone who has worked in the corporate America setting for 15 years and now kind of transitioning to fitness full time, one of the things that I look at and one of the things I think is probably most important is learning your structure and then figure out how to build a structure within that. So you learn the system that is in place for you. So prime example, driving on the roads, your real estate, or whatever those structures are. Then within that structure, you figure out how to do things that are going to work best for you.
I agree. I think a foundation is very important when it comes to anything, like you said, because you build on top of that. And if we don't have a foundation, then just like anything else, it'll crumble. So foundation first.
Yeah, I strongly agree, but I definitely struggle with the structure. So these days I'm working mostly on building a firm foundation. What are some tips that you could say for someone
So
like me?
identify your struggle.
Well,
That's
okay,
that's,
so with
that,
my
don't give me
busy
those
schedule.
looks. Don't give me those looks because you got to know. You have to be able to truly identify what the struggle is.
Right.
I kind of identify. It's like pretty much with my busy schedule, I want to be in the gym, right? I want to be there consistency. But it's like a lot of times it's just pretty tough to balance both. So I'm just like, what is the best way?
So, first things first, something that most people don't like to hear: sacrifice.
What is that?
What are you willing to sacrifice to meet whatever that goal may be? Because you can't do everything that everyone is doing
Right.
and then get to what your goal is. Like you'll notice that very rarely, and I like to like watch and study people. Like before, like the podcast thing became like a really really big thing. I would be one that would watch the Breakfast Club, and I would watch those people, and I would listen to some of those things that they have to say, and how they got to their level of success. And everybody said the same thing. What are you willing to sacrifice? Okay, cool. I understand that you have a long, busy day. But where at in that day can you carve out something? And even carving out something could be saying, okay, you know what? Typically, I take an hour for lunch. Let me bring something from home and then maybe go
Right.
walk the parking lot for 30 minutes, or get a workout in, or you know what? Challenge yourself to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get off work at this time, or I'm sitting down at this time. The same way that you pencil in that open house, or you pencil in that that client that you got to follow up with. Hey, this is my time to go to the gym. One of the things I try to preach as much as I possibly can, you still have to not lose yourself, because parents lose themselves with their kids, people lose themselves with their work, and then they sacrifice their health to get the wealth, and then they turn around and spend all the wealth to get their health back.
That's
So
true.
again, I'm gonna take my lunch break for only 30 minutes, and
Right.
I'm gonna eat lunch for 30 minutes, and the other 30 minutes I'm gonna go study real estate. I'm gonna understand finance. I'm gonna understand stock. So that's all the things, and this is the crazy part about it. The things that really make you successful in life aren't taught in school.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way. But that's definitely true.
So that becomes a question, and that's really again for anything. And I like to speak about it, and speaking with my clients and working with my clients is mindset 1st. If I can get you to have a certain mindset, I can get you to move a certain type of manner, the results going to come. But again, it's going back to the sacrifice of the structure. They honestly go hand in hand before you can, and that's honestly before you can start anything. So like you talked about, understanding your struggle. Okay, well this is my struggle. For me to overcome this struggle, what I got to sacrifice.
Okay. Definitely
She's
some
like,
good
she's
gems.
like, I don't want to hear that. Don't talk to me like
Some
that.
great gems though.
Sacrifice
So
for sleep.
I mean, with me, I'm willing to sacrifice. Now, how long would you say something like that will, you'll see a turnaround in?
For everybody, it's gonna be different. Again, your level of intensity. Like, so prime example, when you guys went to school for real estate or you studied for your license, everybody probably had a different time frame that they needed to study to get their license. You may have been putting in 2 hours a day, where you were putting in four. Well, you were doing your four, then come back in the later on in the evening, you put another 45 minutes in. All that stuff adds up and it compounds. So when you begin to add that up and compounding, it's like, even though there's a time frame that's set, you still got to do, what it is that you have to do. Typically, if someone is being consistent, and when I say consistent, maybe training 3 to 4 days out of the week, and they're consistently doing that, they'll start to see a change. But the change happens in so many other ways that are non-measurable. And that's the thing that people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear about the non-scale victories. They're tied to the scale. Like, I literally had a client where I took every scale that she had.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was like, hey, listen, bring me all your scales. You don't need to weigh in every day, because now you're putting yourself into a state where you're not mentally prepared.
Right.
Because you keep looking at this number. How do you feel? How do your clothes fit? What are other people saying? What is your energy level like? Okay, we're in, what's this? This is July. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to go back and put on something that you bought for Christmas last year. How does it fit? How many inches have you lost? What does your face look like? What are your pictures showing you? It's like, okay, cool.
I get it.
That's definitely a good way to
So
look at
those are the different, but it's having the mindset, understanding what the goal is. And you gotta have, really, honestly, you gotta have somebody to guide you. Like, I'm quite sure you guys have all had mentors, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't think I really like the word trainer, because it's so much more than just that. Because one thing I can say is this: my high performers in the gym are my high performers in real life. That's a mindset. Again, the mindset to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to sleep every night at 8:30 because I got to get up at 4 o'clock to be the gym at 5. That's a mindset. That isn't something that I can teach you. I can tell you that's what you need to do, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. But I can show you the importance of why you need to have it, because it's not easy. The gym part is the easy part. Honestly, it's everything that circulates around that. Where you're saying, okay, you know what? I'm not going out on Friday night because I got boot camp Saturday morning. Or I'm not going out to wind down Wednesdays, or whatever those different events may be, the brunch events and all of that stuff. Because,
All right.
rice
So
and rice and
curry.
gravy. Let me get oxtail rice on my, let me get oxtail gravy on my rice type stuff. But it's
Just talking all about me today.
Yes.
I mean, this is the thing. I'm honest. I'm wide open. I try to be transparent, especially, on social media. I'm a foodie. Like, it's a blessing that I work out the way I do. I am a true foodie. A few years back, I actually had a food tour that I would do, and it was called Cheat Day with Coach. And we would go all over South Florida on a tour bus, and we would go down to the winery, and we go to different small Caribbean restaurants around town. And it was like, all right, cool, we're gonna eat terrible today, we're gonna work it out tomorrow. It wasn't necessarily the best thing to do, but it's honesty. Because if it's a lifestyle, it isn't something that you sacrifice. If it's a lifestyle, it's something that you're gonna sacrifice, but that sacrifice comes with a healthy balance. So that sacrifice can be like an 80-20 split. So if you have, let's say, 25 meals in a week, right? At least give me 20 meals that are good. And then maybe 2 or 3 that are not so good, and just that one meal that you just spoiled yourself, and then you're right back on track. Where other people may say, no, we gotta go completely strict, which neither way is the wrong way to go, but you have to understand who your audience is and what your demographic is. If you have somebody who has that mindset that they can go 100 miles an hour, make those sacrifices, and there's no problem, great, that's the path that you put them on. But then other people, you have to celebrate those small scale victories like we talked about. What are those small little things that we can look at and see? And even from your standpoint, because you guys work with and speak with a lot of different people. So at the end of your day, you're depleted of your energy. What do I need to do for me? What did I do for me today in these 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever that may be? And being able to do it and not feel bad about it. That's another key
A
thing.
struggle,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
like, you know what, this is my me time. I don't care what's going on. I don't care. Let the baby holler. Let the dinner burn. Whatever. Because you can't be a whole person if you aren't being taken care of. And we've been taught for so long that we got to make a sacrifice on ourselves to please other people. But why does everybody else get to be happy and you're not happy?
Yeah.
Right.
2 locations that we can actually help you out at. Also follow us on social media. You can follow myself, Adrian, Adrian, Fit Coach, all one word, FITCOACH. Adrian Fit Coach, or you can follow us at iCanFitness.b or iCanFitness365. So some way, somehow, you can get in contact with us. We have 10 trainers on staff that are available to assist you. We also have a nutritionist on staff as well. So if you guys have some nutritional needs and nutritional questions, we can help you out with that as well.
So let's get back into it, Adrian. What inspired you for this career path?
It's kind of something I fell into. I joke and tell people all the time I'm mad because they didn't offer this at Career Day. I could have saved myself 15 years in corporate America. I was an athlete in high school. I was always kind of that guy that when there was football practice or there was extra work or something that needed to be done, it was like, all right, guys, we're going to be at the park at this time and do so on and so forth. And then it kind of fell in my lap as a side hustle. I hate to tell the story, but my ex and I broke up, and when we broke up, I started training people, and then I just kind of like never looked back. I started at the park with one hurdle and two people, and then I had an opportunity to build some amazing partnerships with iGan Fitness, and work in some other areas along the way, and here we are. So it's been about at this point 14 years. Started off working with high school athletes and college athletes, and then kind of evolved from there.
So you're definitely experienced, huh? Are you currently accepting new clients?
Yes, we are. We are always accepting new clients, to make sure that people can, meet their goals. Because what happens as well, kind of going back to that psychological thing, when somebody's ready, you got to be there to receive them. Because it's like that impulse buy when you go to the supermarket or you're up at 1:30 in the morning and you're watching those infomercials and you got to buy those knives or you got to buy that air fryer or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
can
that
change my
impulse
mind
buy.
tomorrow real
Exactly.
fast.
So it's that impulse buying, really being able to kind of dig in. But our approach is a little bit different. Like it's typically a series of questions that we go through, and a series of questions that we ask of you to kind of make sure that we can help you. Like first things first, what is your fitness goal? And a lot of women.
Beyonce.
I mean the BBL.
Yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds by my birthday. When is your birthday? August 1st. Oh God.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is that possible?
It is.
Oh wow.
It is. Now the thing is this: is it healthy?
Right. I just about to say that.
So again, it goes back to lifestyle. It's still lifestyle. It's at the end of the day, it's still lifestyle because you can do it for 6 months strong, and then you fall off for 2 years, and then you're coming back. Guess what? You're starting back at zero. So you lose that progress. So again, it's lifestyle. So can it be done? Yes. Is it safe? Not necessarily. Typically, safe weight loss probably the first week or two, depending upon the person's size, you'll see a significant drop off in weight. Then after that, healthy is about 2 to 3 pounds per week. But even in let's look at it like this though. There are 52 weeks in a year. If you lose 1 pound a week consistently, that's 52 pounds.
I'll be no more.
But
I was 52 pounds.
But it's just something to think about again. It's being able to speak with somebody who can break it down for you and make it manageable.
Okay.
You eat an elephant one bite at a time. You walk 1,000 miles one step at a time. So you can't look at the bigger picture. Well, you can look at the bigger picture, and then what you do is you reverse your engineering to it. But again, it's having that person that's there. It's having that mentor, having somebody that's going to lead you. Again, this isn't, and no knock on any big chain gyms, but they don't care if you show up or not. They want your $12 a month, your $47 a month,
or 30.
$30 a month, or whatever that may be. 9 times out of 10, someone on my staff is going to probably contact you within 30 to 60 days if you're missing. I'm probably going to be the one that's going to find you on Instagram or on Facebook and send you eyes or send you text messages like, hey, great job this morning, and you didn't even come to class.
Not
you
petty.
did that to me.
Yeah,
I just realized what
Jackson,
you
I see
Petty
that.
Murphy,
Oh my God.
call me. It works because
Yes.
it's a relationship. It's accountability. It's holding you accountable because when we initially had our conversation, you said that you wanted to ... And I'll be honest as well. Like I've identified something with myself this week, and that's probably why I come off as petty. Whereas if you said you're going to do something, do it.
Right.
That's just how I was raised. So when you say that I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, I'm going to make this sacrifice or that sacrifice, and you don't, did you really do what you said you were going to do? So how can I now get you to realize that the conversation that we had, that you're not fulfilling your obligations, you're not holding up your part of the deal? Because when we met, you said that this is what you wanted. We came up with a game plan, but now you're not fulfilling your end of the bargain. No different than, you got that buyer that is ready to go buy. They budget is this, but they want to keep looking at the house that's over budget. And then you tell them how much the house is. They get mad with you, and then they want to talk for a couple of days. But you said this is what you want to spend.
Right.
So I'm gonna take you to this part of town. And I'm gonna let you see what this part of town look like for maybe $20,000 or $30,000 more. But then I'm gonna take you back over to this part of the town because you wanna bargain. You don't wanna get the things that you need. Well, when you bargain with yourself, you're not gonna necessarily fulfill your goals either. So it's like, again, what are you willing to sacrifice? It goes right back in, kind of goes right back in a big circle of psychological, and that's really where it's won at. Because like I said earlier, if I can get you to mentally tap in, that's when everything happens. You'll lose a couple pounds, you'll lose this, but when you go from man, I gotta work out to man, I get to work out, it's a different mentality.
Right.
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities, as you just mentioned, between the fitness industry and with the real estate industry. When you really look at it as, starting as a new realtor, when you first come into real estate, it's literally one step at a time. And as you said, everything starts with the mindset. Everything starts in the mind. A lot of newer realtors jump into real estate because social media might make it look one way, or they have another perception
Right.
of what the market actually is or how things work. And then they find out about cold calling that a lot of people aren't fans of. They find out about all these different things, and then it kind of changes their perspective. But if we have the right mindset, if we learn, as you said, you need somebody to guide you. And that's the point of having a realtor. They have their expertise so they can guide you in the home buying process. We have a mentor coach. We're not going to use fitness.
Trainer.
We have a mentor or trainer, yes. We have a mentor
Mindset.
coach, yes. And they'll help us guide us and get to that hot summer girl body that we want, that Beyonce BBL we're looking for.
Everybody wants to
Most
have
people
like
looking
Megan and
for.
have a hot girl summer. So, yeah,
Right?
how you do anything is how you do everything. And I was like, wow,
I
okay.
like that.
And it's being able to kind of pull back and look at the approach. We actually had an event last evening where we had a Pretty Girls Lift Party. And we actually had 55 women sign up for a lift party to challenge themselves to see just how far they can go. I think by the time we were done with everything and cleaning up and I got home, it was literally like 1:30 in the morning. And I literally sat in my car and I sent those women a video. And I said, hey, I want you to see just how far you can come and how far you can go. So when I'm challenging you and I'm telling you that, okay, you did an okay job or you did a good job, but you can do better, this is why, because I've already seen what your potential is. I've already seen where you're at versus where your potential is, and you're not fulfilling that gap. You're not where you need to be. But everybody needs a coach. Every coach needs a coach. Phil Jackson, I think he has 13 rings. He's probably one of the most highly touted coaches in NBA history. He has somebody that he's talking to that's pouring into him. So it's a trickle effect.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily stop. And the great thing about it is, if you can figure out that system and you can master that system right here, right now with fitness, you can take those same opportunities and those same thought processes and those same principles and apply them to real estate. You can apply them to finance. You can apply them to so many different places. But it goes right back to what's your foundation, how you're operating, what are you sacrificing to get where it is that you want to be. Because at some point you guys have to sacrifice to get
Right.
to whatever level you're at within your real estate. And the same issues that you guys run into, we run into. And what I mean by that is social media. You have these realtors out here that are talking about the $1 million listings and giving these people false perception of what it took to get there. Then you got to get into it. Then you realize, oh crap,
This is not
I actually have to sell people and talk to people.
Yes.
You can't get into real estate, sweetheart, and not want to be able to, wear your pen, wear your badge, talk to
Right.
people, let them know who you are and what you got going on. If you meet somebody more than 3 times and they don't know who you are and what you do, you're not doing something right.
Definitely
Gem.
a good gem. So, we definitely want to thank you for coming out, giving us a snippet of your mentorship on how to build, muscles with a busy schedule. So, again, how can our listeners contact you directly?
You can contact me directly. I feel free to give my cell phone number out all the
Oh.
time. Area code 954-798-3626. It is one of those situations where you need to be able to access somebody. You need to be able to talk to somebody. It may not necessarily be me right then and there, but if I can't help you, I'll definitely pass you along to my team members. Like I said, we have 10 trainers that are on staff between both locations. So if it's not myself, it could definitely be somebody else, or even being able to connect you with somebody even within our organization. We've actually literally had women come into our gym, and men. We train men as well, so don't really we want y'all money too. No, I'm joking. come into the gym and they build partnerships.
Right.
They build it's truly a family. Like even with your mom, like when her mom pops into the gym, it's a big hug, it's a big smile. I'm happy
Yeah.
to see you, happy that you're here. And then it's where you been at? Why you doing that? You got my phone number. You know how to contact me on social media if you need some help with something or whatever. So that's really what it is. So telephone, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be, and whatever. I think I got TikTok. I don't know what my TikTok name is. I don't really use it. I just like to make really cool reels.
Yeah.
But whatever's clever, how you guys want to get in contact with us.
All right. And again, I'm Alicia Wright, the CEO of Real Estate Her First LLC. You can always contact me at 954-203-8826, realestateherfirst.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at realestateherfirst. How about you?
Selena here, and you can call me at 917-355-9584, or you can contact me and get in touch with me on Instagram at Real Estate with Selena, Salena.
Yes, so I just want to make this quick mention. You have mentioned a lot in this interview, time intervals. And one thing we can say is that God gave everybody 24 hours. Whether you were born rich or born poor, we were all given that same amount of time.
Correct.
So how we schedule and structure our time is so important in getting anywhere in life and accomplishing any goal. So and another thing you mentioned that stood out to me as well as partnerships. We need each other.
Yes.
When you win, I win. When I win, you win. And so it's important for us as a community to stick together and to help each other out. That's part of the reason why we're on this radio show, to share the knowledge and let the people know what's going on, what resources are available in the community.
Awesome.
You can reach me at Amelia Real Estate Mogul on Instagram, or give me a call at 954-507-2107.
Anything going on this upcoming week, guys? Anything you want to broadcast?
I'll just say, if you do, we're having a back to school drive for K1
K1.
Realty Group.
Mm-hmm.
You can drop off your supplies at our office in Davie.
All right, and I have an open house that's happening in Pompano Beach tomorrow. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have all the information, or reach out to me at 954-203-8826. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a good one.